This
topics that
conference will now be
uh,
recorded.
yeah, the advanced topics that Ariba is going to be provided to us. Uh, apart from that, mm, I'll try to make more comfortable on what areas you have worked on side and what Ariba is capable. So we'll discuss. No worries. Next, Tamil.
Hi, Mani. Am I audible?
Yeah. Hi. I can able
Uh,
to hear you.
yeah. Actually, I have experience overall 9 plus years, and around 9 plus years, 6 years I'm into the Ariba, uh, uh, working as an end user, from the sourcing project to the invoice processing, both upstream and downstream. And
Okay.
uh,
Great.
still, I'm using as a end user. So
Good.
So I just wanted to know, because we are using SAP Ariba and SAP ECC, both the ERPs we
Mm-hmm.
are using. So just wanted
Mm-hmm.
to learn the integration and implementation, how it works, especially for contract management and SLP module. So just wanted to know about that.
Yeah. Sure.
Mm.
Sure. Definitely. I think it's very easy for you to understand the things what happens in the front end for you. But yeah. So what things is going to be happen in the back end on the system configuration,
Yeah.
on the integration point of view. Yeah, we are going to discuss all those stuff. Yeah. Uh,
Okay.
no worries on that. Yeah. Okay, and Mahesh, is it comfortable for you to speak out?
Hello.
Yeah, yes, Mahesh,
Yeah,
we can
present
hear
time
you.
you so the signals are weak, so you please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
present. I am.
no worries. Yeah, I'll start my session. I'll just share the presentation. It doesn't mean that I will always go into the presentation mode, but yeah, just to give insight about the system landscape. Uh, okay, I'm already sharing. Okay, no worries. Yeah. Yeah. So, welcome to Ariba online training. Yeah, the timings is more flexible and the requirements, if you have any specific requirements where you want to deep dive. So, but I'm going to cover all the topics in Ariba, including the latest innovative solutions and AI techniques that Ariba is going to be provided. So the agenda of today's meeting is I'll talk about Ariba introduction, how the evaluation Ariba was started, and what kind of modules that Ariba is going to be provided to us. At the end of session, we'll discuss what content that I'm going to discuss in our training classes. Okay, so initially the Ariba system is completely third party. uh, it was managed, and later that SAP has procured Ariba system in 2012, and that's how the Ariba has named as a SAP company. So it's a completely cloud-based application. So why the Ariba was started, even though we have a P2P cycle and SAP has managed ERP. So I'll talk about that one. So these are the modules that currently Ariba is supporting to us. So why SAP has procured this system is more on like it's a completely cloud application, and it has a unique modules where the SAP has not designed. For example, SLP, the supplier onboarding process currently. Uh, mm, we don't have the mechanism end-to-end cycle in ERP, SAP ERP module. So that's where this module was introduced in Ariba, and they have designed it. Apart from that, we have supplier risk management. So this is also another module in Ariba where you have a risk analysis of supplier 360. I'll talk about in in detail about these two modules in coming slides. But apart from that, we have Ariba sourcing. In we don't have a sourcing module, so we have RFQs, but that is completely offline. So you just get the document and the the real the process that you involve during auctions, RFPs. That's completely is not available in but in Ariba, they have designed a country-specific sourcing process, because every country have their own kind of a sourcing mechanism and kind of rules. The Ariba has designed a specified templates specific to the countries to utilize the sourcing modules. So you need not to start from the scratch. You can use those standard designed templates, and then you can implement as per the client requirement. Okay, so CLM is another module, because uh, so people the current scenario in so the CLM is completely not available. The reason behind is like um, here in Ariba, they have designed a end-to-end cycle. Like say for example that if you start, so in basically the contract document is going to be started, right? So the legal team is going to be design the contract document. So procurement has decided the agreement, decided to purchase the stuff from from supplier. So then before they start their process, they want to have a long-term agreements, right? So any kind of rental agreements or service agreements or product specific agreements. Okay, so in that case you start with the agreement and then you discuss all the clauses. Post that you want to have approval process before you go further with the supplier signature. The signature part, you are going to be get it signed in the both the parties digitally. Okay, so to run all this process in so there it's a completely offline. The process that whatever I'm trying to speak out is completely offline process there, but in Ariba it's completely streamlined end to end in the system perspective, where you can get the things done. Apart from that, you have a clause library where you can replace the clauses in the document itself. If any clauses that the supply challenges, and you can have a alternative clauses and fall block clauses. So we'll discuss in detail in our training sessions about CLM. But as of now, the digital signature it was provided for us is a DocuSign and Adobe Sign. Okay, so there is no paper signature is required here. It's completely digitalized. So I'm going to talk about how we can integrate the third-party e-signatures in our system. Okay. Apart from that, we have a spend analysis. This is something very crucial on category specific how the spend is happening in the system. Okay, so that's where Ariba also provided. Okay, supply chain is another module. It was came recently, I can say. It is running on full fledged. It's completely a direct procurement, I can say. Consignment orders, subcontracting, forecasting. So that's where wherever the supplier involvement. So why the Ariba is came into the picture is like in S4 you don't have a supplier portal first thing, and the Ariba was designed. It has a own supplier portal for all your activities, all your procurement activities, wherever you need to interact with the supplier. That can be done with the system itself. So okay, they have their own portal, and they will get get to know about that document. For example, the purchase order, uh, or any catalogs upload, catalog approvals you want to run, and if supplier wants to create the invoice or order confirmation. So everything can be done from the supplier portal itself. Supplier has a flexibility to do it from his portal itself. There is no manual interaction about the email or phone call. So everything runs in the supplier portal itself. Okay, so apart from that, you are going to integrate your ERP module with Ariba, so that uh, wherever the supplier interaction is going to come, so that can be achieved with the help of Ariba. That's what I can say. But yeah, so apart from that, we have a P2P cycle in Ariba, which is called Ariba buying and invoicing. Okay, so you don't require ERP, but still you can run your P2P cycle in Ariba itself. Without your ERP system, but still the financial transactions, the financial data validations, definitely you need some ERP system. Ariba is not designed for that. Ariba is specifically designed for the supplier collaboration point of view. So that this point you have to remember. Okay, so on Ariba buying, here it is going to be you have like purchase requisitions, purchase orders, everything you can run here. Okay, the way you run in module, purchase requisition, creation, purchase order, goods receipt, invoice. So all that process you can go and run it. So guided buying is another flexible module, I can say. Why Ariba has came into the guided buying is like it's like Amazon or Flipkart. I'm just giving an example to correlate. So the way you select the item and place the order, and it's very flexible, right? In one place you can do all the stuff. So that's how that Ariba has designed a separate UI, uh, which is called a guided buying. That's where you can create purchase, you can place the orders, do the goods receipts, all that stuff you can do it here itself. Okay, apart from that, Ariba commerce automation, it's specifically designed for ERP module, from PO to invoice, till the payment process. Okay, so whenever the purchase order creates in ERP, so basically what you do, you communicate that purchase order in the form of email or another channel. But here the purchase order is not required, is going to be floated to the Ariba. Okay, through CXML mode, and that purchase order is directly available in supplier portal, which travels in the form of Ariba network, from Ariba network. So supplier can log in into the system and can see the purchase order, and he can create the order confirmations, PO acknowledgement he can do, and then he can create the advance shipping notice and invoices for against that purchase order. So that is very important, right? So whenever you place the order, so you keep some delivery date, but if he could not able to deliver, he may need to interact with you in the form of email or in the form of telephone. That is how the current ERP mode, SAP module is running on. But when it comes to the commerce automation, he has a flexible to do from the system itself. He can acknowledge the people, how much quantity he's going to be delivered, how much uh, when he's going to deliver that relevant quantity, relevant product to us, and he can create the invoice directly from his portal itself. That is another flexible, no need to someone create the invoice manually. So it's all that P2 purchase order to invoice, everything is automated flow. Okay, and invoice reconciliation also, you can float the payment status, you can send it to the supplier. Okay, any questions till now?
No money.
Yeah.
No, no.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just talk about SLP. So as you know, like some people know about but yeah, I'll try to give overview. In SAP, basically the vendor creation will be happens very manually. Okay, manual in the sense, in the transaction, the vendor onboarding team or master data team, they are going to put the details. Okay, basic details like their name, address, and their bank details. They will correct manually, and they put the details and their tax details, their certification details. Everything they do manually in ERP. So that is not the process in the real time, or some of you already know that how the supply onboarding process done. The way that you do in your current scenario, upfront on business end. So basically what you do, there are two ways, right? The supplier may approach to you on the specific product that he is going to be delivered. Maybe you identify that supplier, that's X supplier is going to be delivered, that the product is very good. So there are two ways of interaction or identification of the supplier. Or another way, maybe in expos, people, your product team managers are going to be involved and try to identify different kind of suppliers. So altogether, you collect that information in the form of manually, and you take that information in the form of email and try to put in the system. But when it comes to the Ariba, it's everything is system oriented. You don't require to put the details. Okay, so supplier can himself, you just share the URL, the supplier can put the information, or you can integrate mm, the onboarding process in your corporate portal in single URL. That is called self supplier registration. That is one way they can do. Apart from that, in your organization, if someone wants to put the details what you have collected, basic details, still they can put it. That is called supplier request. So coming to the registration is something that you are making the supplier get registered in your system. The why you do that, okay, you identify the supplier is very qualified to us, and you feel that he has met all your requirements in the system. Okay, that's where you capture all the uh, you feel that you want the supplier get registered. But this is a standard flow, but before you start the registration, you do some pre-qualification mechanism, right? So that is also available here. I have not put that diagram. So all this qualification process may jump into before registration, because after supplier gets registered, if he may not qualify to any kind of the services or the items that you are expecting the supplier, there is no use, right? So that's where the pre-qualification mechanism always comes before the registration. But yeah, that's how all your matrix evaluation questions that you can try before the supplier gets registered in your system. So in registration module, completely registration form, completely you collect the bank information, tax information, and the relevant questions that if you have, so that you can float it in the registration question. So post this registration, the vendor is going to be pushed to ERP system, and get it created automatically. So the thing that I want to highlight here is like the information that you gather, the information that you interact, everything is a system oriented. Apart from that, workflow process is also available for request form and registration form. If you feel that some data is not entered properly or something is not correct, you always have a flexibility to validate those details and keep interacting with the supplier. Okay, so apart from that, we have a duplication check. Okay, so that is what I'm talking about here. This is called a duplication check. Duplication check can be happen in two ways. I want to say is from on supplier database. Apart from that, you can do duplication check with S4HANA database as well. So that is also one of the advantage of Ariba on supplier data. So this is all the evaluation that I am talking about. So you identify the supplier and you go for approvals. If even though you are approved, that your respective supervisors and vendor onboarding team needs to validate, and then you invite the supplier. Okay, from Ariba network, the supplier gets the form and he fill the registration form. That the data is going to be came back to Ariba and get sync to S4 in the form of CXML. Don't worry, I will talk about all these payloads in detail, how this CXML, how the integration happens. But apart from that, qualification mechanism is also there. Okay, supplier qualification, but supplier qualification is something it was there from long, but now there is a new process came which was recently launched by Ariba called a process framework. I'm going to talk about that also. What is the advantage? What are the real-time scenarios? Okay. So yeah, this is all the system integration. Okay, you people might have seen the middlewares called CPI or PIPO or Delbumi or some third-party middlewares to integrate your ERP with Ariba, but Ariba is providing a standard CIG integration. So you may not be a middleware consultant or to take care of system integration. The system was SIG was designed completely. The standard integration, the mappings are already available. Still, you have a flexibility to do the custom mappings. But yeah, I'll talk about in detail about what SIG features and all. But I'll just leave it on. Okay, so this is I just kept this why this is called S to pay. What is S to pay? Source to pay, basically. Okay, so basically you identify the requirement. Okay, you for example, I'll just put some example. Okay, let's assume like you want to procure some sand. Okay, you identify that you don't have any kind of supplier in your system. Okay, then you identify, you put some end user has put the requisition saying that we need 10 tons of sand. Okay, or okay, like that. Okay, so they create a requisition, but you in your system you see that there is no supply. So what you do, basically you directly jump into the sourcing process. Okay, so that's where you create the request for quotation, you discuss the suppliers, and you do the evaluation, you award the supplier. Okay, you might have identified the 10 number of different kind of suppliers in the market to who provide the sand, but you do your and kind of evaluation, and then you do the commercial and financial discussions, right? So what price you are going to, before that you do some technical analysis, right? What is the quality of sand? Okay, how efficiently he can deliver the things. If something is it is not so quality, then what is the process? So all those stuff you are going to put, you do the evaluation. Okay, so once you do the award, you create the contract management. Okay, uh, that's where the CLM comes. This awarding process evaluation comes under RFP process. Okay, so once it is done, either you can get a contract compliance or you can make it as a catalog. Okay, so that's how you complete your requisition. Then you have budget validations, approvals, and then you create the PO to the respective supplier. That PO goes to the Ariba network and gets available for the supplier. And the receipt, goods receipt, you can do both the ways. From Ariba you can do it from SAP also, that is also there. So both the ways you can. So if you do both the ways, and you can float either of the systems. In both the system you can flow however you want. The reason why you need goods receipt is like that is where, right, the product is delivered with this quantity and everything is fine before the invoice is going to be created in the system. Okay, before you go for the payment process. Okay, you someone in your organization has to confirm that the item has received. Okay, that's how the data matching is going to be happen on PO invoice reconciliation you do. Okay, the what is the PO price, what he has kept, what kind of value, price variance, everything you are going to validate here. Okay, so and then finally you do the payment. Okay. So this is the Ariba architecture, system architecture, I can say. Don't be scared of those words, but yeah, I'll try to elaborate in detail later. But just I want to show where is Ariba. Okay, this is Ariba system. Okay, source to pay system. Okay, this is where you create sourcing requests, sourcing contracts, P2P cycle, everything you can run here itself. But you have different kind of systems, right? Third party systems like Oracle, JD Edwards, or Coupa, uh, what SAP system. Okay, how the system integrates with Ariba is this system architecture tells here. We have a middleware called SIG, Ariba's pre-built cloud integration gateway, which take care of a system integration between any kind of two systems, the data flow. So this is how it happens. But if you want to integrate any kind of third party system apart from SAP, because this SIG is completely designed specific to ERP. So if you have such cases, you don't require any middleware. But if you are going with any Coupa or Oracle, so any kind of third party ERP system, you definitely require a middleware to integrate your third party system. That's what this diagram is going to be tell. So how the transmission happens between SIG to SAP, it's completely HTTPS, okay, protocol, I can say. And we have here, if you see, SAP Cloud Connector is a firewall. Okay, so whenever any kind of data coming to your on-premises system, you are more concerned about security, right? Data security compliance is very important. So that's where SAP has provided his own firewall called SAP Cloud Connector. Still you can use your third-party firewalls. There is no standard way that you have to follow this process. Okay, but the diagram what you see here, this cloud integration CIG with Ariba, this is standard. You may not. Uh, this is a standard flow. Okay, so apart from that, if you feel if some transactions that what was designed for a SIG, the data flows, if you feel that is not comfortable and you have some customized transaction flows, data flows, then you can eliminate SIG and you can have a PIP or any kind of middleware. Okay, so that is also possible. So everything is a open data connectivity here. There is no systematic you have to follow. So you can build your custom APIs to integrate any kind of systems and any kind of customized process flow. Okay, any kind of data validations you want to do during your S2P cycle in Ariba. So everything is possible. Okay, there is no standard flow you have to follow like this, but yeah, you can do on client specific calls. Any questions till now? But don't get scared of something you didn't understand, some words, what is this and all. So don't get scared. I'll try to talk in detail in our coming sessions. What is HTTPS? What is SOAP? What is system integration? What is CXML? So don't worry all those terms. I'm going to talk about in detail about what that is, how it looks, how the data is going to be flowed. Okay. Any questions till now? From anyone? Okay, fine. Uh, so now I'll talk about the course content that what I'm going to discuss in our classes. Okay, so this is I'll talk about complete SLP. Okay, so how it is going to be happen end to end. Okay, uh, and what kind of different modules that is available in SLP. Okay, like registration for this modular questionnaires. Okay, supplier qualification, disqualification process. Okay, supplier 360, and on sourcing process. Uh, People might know that there is a classic sourcing, but recently, couple of years back, Ariba has came into a different sourcing design. I can say it's a UI. The process is same, but just the UI got changed. That is called guided sourcing, where it was introduced with AI techniques. Okay, so that the latest the module upgrade of from classic sourcing to guided sourcing that we are going to talk about, which is completely auction. Okay, then we have a CLM. I talk about Ariba standard CLM, what it is going to be provided, and I'm going to talk about the third party CLM process also. Hmm. Okay, if they may not like or they want to integrate any kind of existing CLM systems, if they have contract lifecycle management systems, that is also I can show you how that can be happen. Okay, what Ariba is recommending for your standard system integration with third parties. Okay, that is also I will show. Can we have a guided mm, buying, procurement buying, so catalogs, requisitions, accountings, approvals, manage, POs, receive. So everything, the buying side and the invoicing side, we are going to talk about supplier paper, electronic invoices, services, non-PO invoices. So everything I am going to talk about. Apart from that, catalog management is something very important. Okay, so how the catalogs you are going to manage in the both the supplier and then buyer side. Okay, in the what are the multiple ways we can upload the catalogs? Catalogs is nothing but the way you see in the Amazon or Flipkart, right? Those items. So those kind of flexibility we are going to design and in Ariba. The same kind of Ariba is going to provide standard UA. The same way the what you see in Amazon, right? Whenever you search specific item, the same way we are going to enable in Ariba, and how we can upload those catalogs, images, all that stuff we are going to talk about in this module. Okay, so apart from that, we have administration activities on all procurement side and as well as upstream side. So I will talk about all those administrative activities on Ariba side. Okay, email, sorry, email, email notifications that you always communicate with the suppliers are within your organization. So all those I'm going to talk about, and custom reports, standard reports I'm going to talk about in the system. Okay. Apart from that, if you have any kind of analytical system, for example BI or Power BI or SAP analytical BI, so if you want to integrate, that is also I'll try to elaborate you how you can do it. That is also okay. So overview of a cloud integration. So how the CIG works, how the data transaction that flows between the systems, where you can check how you can create the project creation, what is a cloud connector role. Okay. Mm, so configuration part I will cover in our CIG class. Okay. So apart from this, I will provide the documentation part. Okay, on the system configuration, what you are going to do. Okay, step by step process. Okay, if you are stuck in between, how you can go into the documentation, product documentation, step by step I am going to provide it to you, so you can just refer and you can do the system configuration or template configurations, everything, even for CAG also. Okay. So yeah, so my training sessions are more or like real time. I may not put like just how to create stuff. I'll take a real time example of my past experience. Okay, so I'll try to, the customer has come to us with this requirement and how we implement. So I start as we do as an implementation project. Okay, I'll just show how the approach is going to be, how the project is going to be started. Okay, so the demo sessions, then we gather the requirements and you do the fit gap analysis and system design, and then you implement in the system, how you do the test. So all that process, the real time what you do in in your current IT organization, the same way I'm going to put it here. um, in our training sessions, everything, that topic that I discuss, how it is going to be approached, how we are going to elaborate in the system, how we are going to put in the system. So that's how I take our training sessions completely. Okay, any questions till now to anyone? So apart from that, I will give a kind of assistance. I will be always available. Subbu is going to be create a one WhatsApp group. So for all of us, so you can keep questions whenever you do practice. I keep on responding to you. And apart from that, during your interview calls or your project interviews, so I'll help you out how to speak. So even though you know how to do, but in which way you can put that story, user story, uh, how it was implemented. Okay, instead of talking about X configuration, I had to do like, you had to do like this. Instead, you had to talk about user story. So that's more makes sense for the people on other end who can understand. If they talk some technically how you do config, then you still there also you are capable to do that. Okay, post our training sessions. Okay. So I can give assistance saying that what kind of questions the interviews are going to be asked on SLP or contracts or sourcing or Ariba end. So I will put all the questions I can share you. Apart from that, if you have any kind of questions, still I can elaborate for you. Okay, that's all from my end. Anyone have any other questions? Please feel to ask me.
Yeah, Mani, I just wanted to know. Um, so this course is for covering all the modules and integration and implementation part. Um,
True.
whether
It's
can we go for a one module in depth with live projects like that? It will be available. For
sure.
example, SLP module.
I got your concern, Tamil. We
Mm,
can do that also. If you want in-depth of SLP, mm,
mm,
I can provide that kind of session. So including the system integration, how you do the system integration, ERP configuration, okay, and
mhm,
MDGS, what you do on MDG side, okay. So all that
mhm,
stuff I can do. That's
mhm.
not an issue.
Okay.
What is the course duration, Mani?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, it definitely takes 1.5 month, Jyoti, I can say. Uh, so it may a little bit extend, but yeah, it requires minimum
Okay.
1.5 month, 40 hours, I can say. Mm, yeah, okay. Any questions from Swati, Vijay,
Will
Mahesh?
company will your
Yeah,
organization provides us the job opportunities, or we have to look outside? It is only
yeah,
job assistance or what?
yeah. It's a job assistance only, Jyoti. So we never. But see, the market is very good for Ariba, so you need not to worry on the calls. The first point. So there are huge uh, projects for Ariba. The reason is like most of the clients already are already in SAP. So that's where the people who are feel like they have the system gaps, right? On manual activities. Okay, so that's where the people are interested to implement Ariba. There are huge number of projects are already available is in the pipeline, and I see the calls are very high for Ariba. So you may not require to catch the job. We don't require to provide any kind of job. Okay, in the market itself you can find the job, but to crack the job, I'm going to help you out with some kind of interview questions. Even you try to attempt one or two. If you could not able to clear, and try to come back to me, these are the questions they ask. I have answered like this. If something is there, you need to correct. Or whenever you go any kind of interview, the person may should feel like you really implemented, right? That kind of way I'll try to put on during interviews. Okay, so I'll give you such kind of guidance how to talk. Okay, the way you have implemented. Okay, that's how you have to crack the jobs instead of I did this configuration, I did this stuff instead of that. So you need to build a kind of user story. So that's how I'll try to put you to catch the job easily.
Okay, okay, I understand. Thank you, Mani. What
Yeah,
is the fee structure and everything? Will it be discussed afterwards, or can be discussed here?
yeah, I think Subbu, you try to coordinate with Subbu, Jyoti. Subbu is going to be discuss about the fee structure. He's our
Okay.
organization. Even for system access also, the server access.
Mm-hmm.
Try to contact
Mm-mm.
Subbu. Subbu is
Okay.
going to provide.
Okay, thank you, Mani.
Yeah, thank you, Jyoti.
Money, whatever of, I mean, entire during entire course, video sessions even will be available because if we go through again and again, so maybe we can remember the point.
True.
So is it a complete video sessions? It
Yeah.
will be available. I mean, whatever the
Yes. Yes.
40 hour sessions.
True, Vijay. And if it's the sessions, whatever we go, everything is recorded. So even our current demo session is also recorded. I forgot to mention that. So you have a online recording sessions is going to be available for you. If you feel some sessions you miss, and you always refer the recording session. If you are not comfortable and if you have additional kind of questions, you always reach out to me in the WhatsApp group, or we can have a separate session, or on some other training classes. If I am going with that topic, you can come in between, and Subbu is going to communicate to you on that specific topic. We can cover there as well. So all the ways you have existing training recordings, that whatever I gone through the classes, you can go with that. If you feel any questions, you can come up with another session we can have. Or if you want to hear live, then Subhi is going to involve in other training sessions.
Thanks, Mani.
Any questions from Swati, Mahesh, Tamil?
And how about the access money regarding the
Yeah,
access type?
yeah, the system access Subbu is going to provide. So you'll have Ariba system access. End to end, you will have. The same system I am going to discuss. So whatever I do the configuration, right? So everything is
Mm.
available for you. The same system we are going to use. Uh, okay, so you don't need to worry. Okay, it's the system is
And
one
also,
system. Okay,
in the market,
sorry.
and also in the market, the description of the job is minimum one or two implementation projects must have done. So, is there any opportunities we will get to gone through the live projects, or,
Uh,
or any sample
got
methods?
it. I understand that. See, it's all about the session that I'm going to that is a real concern for everyone. Okay, the sessions that I'm going to put is like my past the multiple ways I have implemented. So any topic if I take, so that topic how it was implemented in multiple ways in my experience. Okay, so that's how I put. So you need to grab that story. Okay, how it was implemented the same way whenever you go into the interview sessions, that if there's someone asks you how many implementations you have done, okay, you have done two. Okay, how it was implemented, you may put to them on multiple user stories. Okay, for example, the first implementation I was implemented like this, the second another company client I have implemented this way. Okay, so I will give multiple scenarios for you to put during interview. The same way you can expose yourself as that you have implemented it. So if someone is ask you how it was implemented, you may not start with configuration, right? You should talk about a business process flow, how it was implemented. So my client has this kind of architecture and I have implemented this way. Another client have this kind of. So if you talk a multiple ways, right? So it's easy for other person to identify, catch you that you have really implemented. So the implementation part, how you have done configuration, we are going to discuss in classes. But on user story point of view and on multiple ways of that the process flow you have implemented, that we are going to discuss in our training sessions. So that's how you can defend yourself that you have implemented and multiple implementations.
Okay, ma'am. And also just wanted to know, it's for HANA, that also we will get the access, or only for Ariba migration part?
Yeah, so I can show till SIG, but
Oh,
as of now, if you go anywhere in the market, any kind of a training institute, you don't have
mhm,
any system that was integrated with S4 HANA. That is
mhm,
a problem. But what I do is like I can show till the system migration, but on S4
mhm,
HANA, what things that needs to be done, maybe I'll show you in the form of Word document. The
mhm.
SPRO path, what kind of configurations you have to take care in S4 HANA, so that I'll show you. Uh, okay, that you don't need to worry. But end-to-end flow, we don't have a system available. But I'll show
Okay.
you that how till the immigration point. Okay, in the market we don't have because it's a cloud application, right? So we in the market, anywhere we don't have a system like that in entire market,
Okay.
in global market, I can say, until the
Okay.
corporate systems, so that the companies that they maintain on premises, they have. But in open market you don't have a system like that. If we have that kind of flexible, I'm flexible to discuss in both the areas. But as we could not able to show you on S4 HANA side, but I will put in the form of Word document. So what the step one you had to do, step two you had to do, like this. So that's how I can make you comfortable in other end as well.
Okay. Because in the front end, like from Ariba registration, supply registration, and payment processing in ECC, those things we are working in our current organization. But I don't know the back end how it works, how it payment processing is done in the ECC. So those things, how it is integrating those things, I don't know. So that's what asking. Either ECC or HANA, do we have access?
Yeah, yeah, I got it. Uh, Tamil. So what we can do, I can show you. It's not about the documentation. We can I can show you. We
Mhm.
can take any S4 HANA system or a system, how the vendor creation happens there, how we can push the vendor from that system, and apart from that, how you create the payment cycle. But it's completely
Mhm.
FICO.
Mhm.
F-53 they will use. Uh,
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'll show you how the invoice creations happens there, and how the invoice is
Mhm.
going to be look, how the supply is going to be look in the S4 HANA or ECC. So I'll show you.
Okay. Okay.
I'll show you that part. But
Okay.
the same system that what we are discussing, the
Mm.
Ariba, the S4 HANA or ECC system that I am showing, those are not integrated. Okay, so because I
Okay.
can show you different systems, because
Mhm.
the system that I am going with the training, though it's not have a standard integration with S4. Okay, in the market they are not
Okay.
providing to us, but I can show you
Okay.
two different ways. Okay, how it happens.
Mm.
But yeah, that's how I can
Okay.
leverage.
Okay. Okay, man. Yeah, that's all.
Mani,
Yeah,
if we are
yes,
looking
what?
for jobs on P2P particularly, like how much in depth are we covering here? Because are we just covering on brief, or will we be able to get jobs on P2P particular module? Not just P2P, it could be sourcing or something else also.
Yeah,
How much in depth
first.
are we doing?
Yeah. So we cover in depth only, Swati. Depth in the sense, I'll guide you the real time scenario and how the configuration we do. Okay, S- that those parts I'm going to discuss in depth in the sense. See, uh, I'll cover you in extent. I can say 7 to 8. For example, out of 10, 7 to 8% is 8 out of 10, 7 to 8 mark. I can make you to reach. Okay, that 9 and 10 it comes when you have a in-depth knowledge. Okay, that 2 points you have to cover. Okay, so I'll make you reach till 7 or 8 out of 10
Okay.
on any
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
configuration. But so I will give assessments also, apart from the training session that I do on hands-on by me. I'll give some assignments to you. Okay, so there you do. Okay, every class I'll try to put some example assessment. You try to do on yourself. Okay, that's how you'll make yourself on the system point of view, configuration point of view. But as you practice much more, you will be more comfortable in the system. Okay, that's how you will learn the depth. Okay.
Yeah.
So by seeing, you may not understand, you may not remember, and after 10 days or 15 days, the first class, whatever I have done it, you may not remember until you put the in-depth, hands-on, hand-free, if you do in the system. Okay. I will give some assignments. If you do that, you are capable to handle up to 7 or 8 out of 10. Okay, that 9 and 10 you may require to implement a number of times. Okay, then you will understand that corner point, corner configuration I need to touch, then only I can achieve this thing. Okay, that uh, colliding is required.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
So in the starting of the session, you told that it is going to be flexible, right? Money, timings.
Yeah.
Mm, so is there offline and online both available?
uh, So timings are flexible. I mean to say, like I want to cover on Monday to Friday mostly, because Saturday, Sunday, everyone have their own things, right?
Schedules, yeah.
That's
Mm.
yeah. So uh, yeah. So Subbu will communicate to you, Jyoti. So because so many people are there, right? So maybe I'll
Mm.
try to club in one batch, or he will try to divide in multiple batches. So
Mhm.
offline also, if you have any kind of questions, if you could not able to, recording session is available. Apart from that, if you want to connect with me offline, you can connect with me also. The WhatsApp group is going to be created. So always we have a immediate a channel to communicate.
Okay, so
Yeah. Okay. That's all from anyone. Do you have any questions? Okay, I'll end up the session. Yeah, please try to coordinate with Subbu. So from Monday we can start our classes. Okay. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Thanks. Thanks, Mani.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mani. Bye bye.